What's up, guys? FYZ4K here. Welcome back to another one. Today we're going to be talking about the beginner's guide into Final Cut Pro. So we're going to be actually dissecting it, and I'm going to show you how to create a project, how to create a simple video, and how to export a project. I'll try to be as detailed as possible, so sit back and enjoy the show. Alright, so when you have your Final Cut Pro opened, you're going to have a screen that looks something like this. Now, on the far left side, we can create a new event, and that's the first step. Is to create a new event by right-clicking your mouse in this area right over here and clicking New Event. Once you click New Event, a new window will pop up, and I got the Create New Project selected. By default, it's not selected, so it'll look something like this. When you click it, you get a bunch of information and settings that you can set up for your project. So if you drop down to 1080, you get an option where you can actually select 4K, for instance, or you can downgrade to 720. The resolution is set at 1920, and I'm at 60 frames for the frame rate. So for this example, we'll just leave it as is at 1080p, and the rendering, we keep it at Apple ProRes 422. That's what I'm comfortable keeping my settings at, and for audio we keep it at stereo at 48. Now the library, I haven't changed anything there for the title, and we're just leaving the event name as is. We'll click OK. And we got our new project right over here. Now what we want to do is we want to import all our files. What we're going to do is we're going to click import, and we're going to look for our files. And what we're going to do is we are going to select them all, and we are going to import selected. Give it a few seconds. And there we go. So as you can see, everything is categorized. So we have the video clips, then we got the intro, we got the watermark, and then we got the audio file. So what we're going to do is we are going to start by bringing in a video clip into the timeline by selecting and then dropping it right into the timeline here. This little area here at the top left corner is the tray, okay? So I'm going to show you guys what everything is in here. And if you click the next icon to the side, you got your sound effects, your music, your GarageBand, your photos. If you click the next icon, you get your titles. You can see this area here is your preview section. And at the bottom here is your timeline, which you can actually build on. So that's the first clip that we actually brought into the timeline. On the right side here, we have transitions. And again, if you hover your mouse over these transitions, you can get a quick preview. The next tab over is now the effects that are installed. And then the next tab over is the zoom, where we can actually zoom in and out of our clips and make our clip larger so we can see more of the thumbnails that are in our clip. I think this is really handy as well. The next tab over is the snapping tool. And then we got the solo selected items. And then turn audio skimming on and off. Okay, we're going to head back into the transitions, and we'll keep that as the main screen here. At the top over here, we got a few options as well and a few control settings. So the first one, like a transform, crop type of setting. Second one over is for color, saturation, exposure. The next one over is for audio. So you got some presets over here for voiceover or for the audio files that you bring in. And then if you click the actual equalizer, you get a new window that pops up, which is your graphic equalizer. And in here, you can do all your manual settings. Then you got the information tab. All right, so here in the video clip, we have this audio that's already set with the clip itself. And with this, we have a sound of just the wind, which we don't need. So to eliminate that, what we do is we drag this fine thin line down to mute. Now we've actually muted the video clip. So now what we're going to do is we're going to choose a section of this clip to have in our final video that we're going to be creating. Before we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to give the video a color grade. Before you actually slice and dice the video, I would suggest to actually adjust the whole video clip. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing around with exposure, the saturation. You can see this is pretty dull. Let's give it a bit of a pop. So the colors are quite vibrant, and I think that looks just beautiful there. You can always save these presets as well. So click the Save Effect preset, and you can choose a category that you would like to place it into. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to slice the video now to where I think it'll look really good. So I like the intro where we get the trees and we can see the greenery, and we're approaching the building, but we don't want to get too close to the building, or we don't want to prolong that for too long because that would just look boring. So we're going to trim it just about there. And what we'll do is we'll hit the B key on our keyboard, which means blade. And now you'll see that our cursor has changed to a blade. So we can actually click where we want to click on this video clip. And there we go. We've actually just did our first slice. Now what we'll do is we'll hit the A button on the A key on our keyboard, and that is the select tool, which is the arrow tool. All right, so that's to select anything else. Now to play the video clip, I just wanted to quickly tell you how to do that. If you hit the space bar on your keyboard, you can the clip will play, and then you can actually hit the space bar again and the clip will stop. Now I like this area right over here a lot. So I think what we'll do is we'll have the first section, and then we'll kind of jump to this section right over here, showing the Markham Civic Center. I love the flare that's showing on the lens, and then the beautiful sky that appears. So let's just kind of click back a little bit. Now I'll just slice this area over here. We're going to keep this beautiful lens flare that shows. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Just up to the flag, just about there. So we'll keep that section there. Everything before this section we will delete. So we're going to select our A key, and we are going to click this and delete. Hit the delete button. Now we've deleted the middle section. Boom, look at that. So we got our two clips. Okay, next thing we want to do is add a transition between the two clips. And we don't want to choose anything too funky, and we want to keep it as professional as possible. I think the crossfade would be a good selection. Something like what I'm just showing you here, like the flare, I've actually purchased. So these are extras, but they do add a nice touch to the video clip. We'll drop that in, drag and drop. If you guys didn't see that, it's just drag and drop into the timeline, just like that. And it goes right in place. Let's preview this. So starting from there, hitting the play button, which is our space bar. That looks gorgeous. We can also drag this transition longer, so we get a bit more of the previous shot coming into the next shot. So take a look at that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stabilize this clip. The automatic drop down, and we're going to choose smooth cam. Now we'll look at the top left corner of the screen. We see this little time, I call it a pie, but it's showing you the buffering and the loading of the effect that we just put in. There you go. That's done. So now if we preview this, there we go. Beautiful. All right, now with the second clip over here, I'm going to do the same thing again. So we're going to hit stabilize, and you'll see that it's analyzing the clip. It says analyzing underneath the video preview over there, and we can see the loading of the effect. Now we can drop down the automatic drop down and choose smooth cam for this one as well. Now if we actually preview this, it's a lot smoother. That's how I like it. So next what we're going to do is we are going to bring in our intro. Now that could actually be brought in first, but we're bringing it in now, and we can actually slide the rest of the clips over. It actually does it automatically, and there we go. So now we can actually preview this clip, and there's a couple of things that I don't like right now. So I don't like the sound that's playing. I can mute that, and we can bring in the new soundtrack that we have selected or brought into our tray, and we'll bring that underneath the clips that we have in the timeline. Now there's a lot of empty space, or I call it muted area of the audio clip, that we can actually trim off. We do this by actually dragging the clip of the audio and then dragging the whole audio clip over to the beginning of our intro. Now when we hit play, it sounds beautiful. I think this sounds amazing. Perfect. So next thing I'm going to do is add a transition between the intro and the first clip. Now you notice that it's not actually bringing in that clip, and it's actually giving us a little pop-up box saying that there's not enough extra media beyond the clip edges. And what we got to do is we got to trim this clip. So we're going to check these clips right over here, and you see how there's a bit of a red line there? That means we're at the end of the clip. So we want to trim that clip a little bit to the left. There we go, to give us a bit of an overlay margin. And for that first clip, we're going to trim it to the right. Now when we bring in the transition, it works. So now I want to bring in a watermark. And the watermark is going to drag, we're going to drag the watermark right in. I'm going to show you something. If we bring in the watermark and keep it at the bottom of the clips, it doesn't show. So the idea is to build on top, build upwards. Okay, so we have this and it starts way too early, so I'm going to bring this to the first clip, and it's where we want it. Now we will notice that this artwork, or this watermark, has a white border, which we don't want. So we can easily get rid of any axis graphic by clicking this little box here, dragging the nodes from the left and the right side, and the bottom and the top. The bottom can be a little tricky there. Let's try the top first. All right, it's playing tough to get. So what we'll do is we'll drag it from the corner, and that works out perfectly. We're gonna hit done. There we go. Now you're gonna try to move this and it doesn't move. Don't get frustrated. You just have to go back down here and hit transform. Transform will allow you to move it to whatever direction you want to move it into. We'll hold the option button down on the keyboard, and we will drag. There we go. So we'll figure out a size that works out best. Something like that looks good. And we'll hit done. Now let's take a quick preview. All right, now you'll notice that it kind of just came in very abruptly. And that doesn't look as soothing to the eye. So we can add in a cross dissolve, which is a fade. So it's going to fade in. And now if we watch the preview, beautiful. We're going to trim the watermark clip right now, just to the end of the last clip. You'll notice the fade is still there. We'll keep the audio track as it is right now because we're going to be adding in some more stuff. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in a title. I want to add in a title at the beginning of the video clip. And we can see the previews as we drag our mouse or cursor over each title. There's some real fancy ones. And then we also have a custom one, which I like to use from time to time, which gives you a bit more flexibility on color, size, and all that good stuff. But let's just add in something fancy for today. I like this fade, so let's actually bring this fade in. What we'll do is we'll drag and we'll drop. Now what we'll do is we'll drag this to cover just the first clip. Now what we're going to do is we're going to customize this text by going to the top right corner here. And the first tab will allow you to change the size and the font and the colors and some of the animation. Second tab over here will allow us to edit our text. So we're going to just type in welcome. Let's take a quick preview. Okay, that was pretty quick. I found that clip to be quite short. We're going to add a slow-mo effect to this clip. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to modify at the top, and we're going to go to retime, and we're going to go to slow. We're going to choose 50%. And it automatically stretches out this clip, or actually slows down this clip. We're going to now drag the text to fit into that clip area, which is going to slow down that text, and we're going to kill out these transitions, and we're going to adjust the watermark so it stretches out a little longer. Now we're going to hit the preview. There we go. Now we can read welcome. It doesn't just flash by really quick, and that slow motion looked really good there on the first clip. We're going to take the next clip in. We're going to bring in another clip. So I've showed you guys the slow-mo. We're going to do speed ramping now. And you guys might be like, what speed ramping? I am going to explain you what speed ramping is as soon as we get this clip set up. I'm going to just drag the watermark over to the next clip. So I noticed this clip's still a bit shaky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stabilize this clip. And then we're going to smooth cam it. Let's watch a quick preview. Ah, a lot better. Smooth. Okay. Now we can figure out where to do the speed ramping. So the speed ramping pretty much means that we're going to have a section going really slow and then fast and then really slow again. Or the other way around, where it's going to be super fast, slow, and then super fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our blade and we're going to slice a section here. And if we drag our mouse or drag our cursor, we can actually have a preview. And then we could probably stop it just about here and let it slow down again. So we got 2 points now. And this middle section here is what we want to speed up. So we'll go to modify again, and we will go to retime, and we will hit the fast option, the 2 times. I feel we may still have to go faster, but we will take a quick look and see how this looks. All right, not too bad. I feel that with the middle section where we're at 200% can go faster. So let's try about 400%. Oh, we got about 399, close enough. Let's take a quick look. Okay, not bad. I still feel we have a lot of slow motion in the beginning. The clip is a bit too long, so I'm gonna take a blade and trim off a certain section of the beginning over there, which you don't need. And we're going to take a look at the clip again. Nice. And now we'll move on to the next thing. So we're gonna bring in another clip. Okay, I like the tree. I like the way this tree actually turned out with the camera rotating around it. We can actually trim the clip right over here and have a preview, so we can only bring in what we want. And that kind of saves time as well if you know what you kind of want. Again, we're going to mute the clip. We're going to add in a transition. Okay. Beautiful. Good transition right there. Okay, we're going to trim this a little bit. I'm going to stabilize it. We're going to smooth cam it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in another clip to show you picture in picture. So I like this shot right over here where we're watching the couple and it's going in a circular motion like the tree. And we'll bring this in. Again, we'll mute the clip. And as you notice, we're building upwards, not downwards. Okay. Now, I like the fact that this couple, there's something going on. Person is reassuring the girl that she'll be okay and that he has her hand. And I think that will be really nice. Just that section there. So we won't need the whole clip. We don't want to show too much. We'll take our blade and we will trim off a section just about there. Delete the rest. Delete. And we will just position this clip. So we'll just trim this up a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform. And from the corner, if we hold the command key down on our keyboard, it'll keep it centered and it'll reduce it proportionally. So let's say we wanted to keep our picture right up there, our video clip. All right, we're gonna hit done. We'll just do a little quick preview. And it kind of just snaps in and snaps out. So let's just first center it and then we'll add a transition or like a fade. And we can actually reduce the fade because it was taking up pretty much the whole clip. So let's say about 30. There we go. Nice fade in, nice fade out. Let's watch it one more time. Beautiful. So that is how you do a picture in picture. Now you'll notice one thing, that the watermark is hidden. It's kind of in between the two layers. So what we got to do is we got to move this up and now we can see everything else. So you'll notice it's sitting right on top of everything and now it's not hidden. So that's a good idea, a good practice to make sure that the watermark is at the top. We're going to add in some nice transitions or a fade at the end of the scene. And then we're going to add in a fade at the beginning and end of the watermark. Just like that. Now we're going to add in the same animation title that we had at the beginning. We're going to add it at the end. So either we can drag and drop it from the tray or we can copy and paste it. I'm going to show you how we paste it. And it's right there. And what we'll do is we'll trim the audio line now, the audio file, to the end of the title, and we will do a nice fade out. Now fade out for the audio, if you didn't catch what I did there, is when you hover your mouse on top of the audio clip, you'll see a node. Just drag that node till just about there, just to where the end animation starts. And we can do the same for the beginning. We'll just drag it over so it fades nicely in. Sounds nice. Take a look at everything that we've just completed. Wonderful. Amazing. All right. So the next thing we want to do is add in a fade at the end, like a fade out. Kind of felt a little short there. So what we can do is we can make this a little longer, which is fine, and it's a nice gradual fading out. Now the next thing we want to do is export this file. So right at the top right corner, you'll see that little box with the arrow that's pointing outwards. And we want to choose master file. There are some other options if you wanted to export it right onto social media. A window will pop up here where you can actually change the project name. I'll just call it Final Tutorial. Now if we go into settings, we can change the file from video audio to, let's say, computer. When you change it to computer, you'll notice that the file size drastically changes down to 80 megabytes. And the quality still stays quite decent, I must say. It also changed to an MP4. Now we'll change it back to video audio. And we keep the source at Apple ProRes 422. And the color space to standard. And that's that. Now I also noticed that it has jumped to 1.2 gig. We'll hit next. Once the next window pops up, it's going to ask us where we would like to save the file. And we'll hit save. And it's exporting. Now you'll see at the top left corner here, you'll see the progress. If you click that and you drop down this little arrow, you'll see what's happening. So it's transcoding your final tutorial video. And that's it. We'll see a little preview pop up. So we've covered a lot of things today. I hope you found this helpful. There's a lot you can honestly do with the software. It's extremely powerful. I just kind of touched the surface there for you. So until next time, you guys take care of yourself, and we'll catch you on the next one.